Okay, good afternoon. Sorry, good evening. How are you? How are you guys? Ajmeri, how are you? Maruf, Manjurul, Mr. Manjurul, how are you? You can listen to me, all of you? Hello? Hello, you can listen to me, everybody? Ajmeri, how are you?
I'm fine, sir.
You're fine, thank you. Okay, and Maruf, are you there? Maruf, Maruf, are you there? And Manjurul Bhai, are you there? Manjurul Bhai, Manjurul Bhai, are you there? Okay. Okay, let's I'm speaking, then we'll come back. Let's do some speaking practice. Let's see what. Okay, Ajmeri. Ajmeri.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so do you like to have ice cream? How often do you have ice cream?
Yes, I do very much like ice cream. Before pandemic, every within a week we are taking ice cream.
Yeah, I used to take
I
ice
used
cream, almost every week. Almost every week.
I used to take the ice cream almost 2 or 3 days in a week, but in this pandemic, if you know that cold is danger for the coronavirus, is very much from that time I'm trying to avoid cold things, but I really like it. And my daughter also fond of ice cream. uh, Sometimes she insists to have it, so that time I need to give her the ice cream.
Okay, do you think that as people don't want to catch cold, they're avoiding ice cream during this pandemic time? Can you relate that? Can you link it up that because say if you have lots of ice cream, you might even catch cold.
Yes.
So they're avoiding that.
Yes, I think so. At the first of the pandemic's time, I think that time they were avoiding it, but nowadays I don't think so.
Okay, so people do. So, what's your favorite brand? Are you a brand loyal person regarding ice cream?
Not that much.
There are lots of brands these days. Even
yes.
I don't know the names. In the last 7 or 10 years, especially in the last 5 or 6 years,
Yes.
There was a time there were only two brands, I believe. The famous one, the popular one, Polar and
Igloo.
Well, and Igloo. But now they have quite a few more. Quite a few more. So,
right,
but which one is your favorite? Do you care about brand or you just pick any. You don't care about which brand of ice cream you're taking. Did you follow a brand?
Not always. Sometimes I follow the brand, but the main thing is for me is the taste. So which brand has the good taste? So I prefer that one.
Okay, so
But
you don't care
generally
about.
we go for igloo.
So which one is the best? Do you have any idea that yes, this one probably is the best? Why it's best? Because it's the oldest one.
Yes, I think so, and it's maintain the quality of the product. So still, when I am trying to trying for igloo, so I'm feeling that same taste, almost same taste. So I'm so it's my belief that they are able to uh, keep their
Okay,
quality
fine.
now.
5 মিনিট আগে,
Okay.
তাই না? আর ঘটনা ঘটছে
Manjur
কয়টায়?
bhai, are you there? Manjur bhai, are you there? Hello, Manjur bhai. Okay. Then who can I ask? Tushar? Maruf? Maruf, are you there? Hello, Maruf. Would like to speak out? Okay. So, anybody else? Fariha, how are you?
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Sir,
You are okay?
sir, not so okay.
Not
My
so
hand
okay.
is just burnt
Hmm.
1 hour ago.
What happened? Your hand
Yes, sir.
bent.
Not hand, my 2 finger
How
is
come?
burnt. Sir, from
What
the
should? Oh, it was accident.
yes, sir.
Yes. I'm sorry. At home.
Yes,
Did-
sir.
Okay. I wish you get better quickly, as quick as possible.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
No
So.
problem.
কয়দিন?
Okay.
কখন? ওই দিন? ওই দিন কখন? বলো।
Okay. So. Faria, do
এগুলো তো
you
তোমার হচ্ছে ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিস, তুমি যেহেতু এটা নিয়ে একটা সন্দেহ তৈরি হয়েছে, তুমি খুঁটায় খুঁটায় শুনবা না? আপনি কোথায় ছিলেন? আপনি তো আমাদেরকে বলছেন এসে দেখেন আপনার মা পড়ে আছে।
Okay.
ওই দিন বাসায় আসলে কখন? ঘুমালেন কখন? আপনার আম্মা ঘুমের সময় কোথায় ছিল? তার সাথে আপনার কখন কথা? এগুলো তো খুবই
স্যার আপনি কি ওখান থেকে মিউট করতে পারেন স্যার?
হ্যাঁ।
মানে আপনি অ্যাজ এ হোস্ট হিসেবে কিন্তু মিউট করে দিতে পারেন, যে যারা হচ্ছে নন স্পিকার তাদেরকে আপনি মিউট করে দেওয়ার একটা অপশন আছে, আপনি চাইলে
আচ্ছা,
সেটা
আচ্ছা,
পারেন।
একটা আছে না? আচ্ছা, এটা কোথায় আছে? এটা
স্যার হয়ে গিয়েছে মিউট।
মিউট না, মিউটে এখানে আচ্ছা একটা অপশন আছে যে ওরা নিজে চাইলে আচ্ছা ওপেন করে নিতে পারে। আচ্ছা এটা আছে, আমি যদি এই অপশনটা না রাখি তাহলে আমি ওপেন না করলে আবার হবে না। আচ্ছা আচ্ছা, anyways, let me Faria, do you like bright colors or dark colors, and why?
Sir, actually it varies from my mood, but generally I love the light colors. Sometimes dark colors, because dark colors actually matches with me. But light is my favorite.
Light color in general. What about Bangladeshis? What color we like to wear? Is it dark
Sir,
color or
in
bright colors?
general, people actually some years ago people love to wear different color, multicolored dresses. But recent years people love to use light colors. In these years, actually, last year or before the previous year, last year, I think people again love to use multicolored dresses. The fashion actually, They love to wear saris, even
এইটা 57 মিনিট মানে প্রায়
multi
12টা।
colored.
হ্যাঁ তুমি এখানে দেখো।
Okay. Okay, fine. So, do you have any idea about keto? You can see this one, huh? You can
Yes,
see
sir,
this.
I know
huh?
keto diet.
No, you can. So, do you know about keto diet? Is it
Yes,
safe?
sir.
Because I read it. You know, one of the film actresses. She died in Bangalore. Probably she was from West Bengal, and they're mentioning that she died because she used to have keto diet.
ওই ভিকটিমের
So,
সিডিআর কই?
what do you think about that?
Sir, I
Maria?
think keto diet is not bad, but if you actually diet with extra fat, I think
Extreme.
actually keto
Yes,
diet,
Mohila.
keto diet shows the extreme level fat, but there is an option for exercise, or there is an option for actually fasting. So if you don't
She
maintain,
died out of kidney failure. She died of kidney failure, and they're saying that she was having keto diet. That's why, their family clearly they were mentioning. So,
sir, I don't know about her, but I actually know that if you take extreme level fat, is actually bad for you. But if you take it with fasting and exercises like jumping or running out and walking, then I think it's not bad for your health. But some people's health is varies actually. I think some people have problems of kidney or anything. So actually, I think before taking those diet, you should consult with a doctor. Actually, at least nutrition.
Okay, so
Doctor, so
can I ask Anand? How are you? Anand?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm fine, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm fine. How is Borishal today?
Borishal is quite just like normal, sir. Not so hot, not so cold, sir. It's normal.
Did it rain? Did it rain today?
No, sir. It didn't. I think.
Okay, so did you have any tasty food today? Sumptuous.
What, sir? Sorry, sir.
Any sumptuous food? Very delectable food. Very tasty food.
Actually,
something special to have.
No,
did you take any special food today?
No, today was normal actually.
Huh? Just
no,
regular,
so today was
regular
stuff, sir.
Okay. So did anything special happen today?
Not anything, so didn't happen, but anything supposed to be happen, but it didn't.
What was that? University HSC
announcement? Yes, sir, that one, sir.
So it is supposed to get announced tomorrow?
I don't know, sir. Actually, they said
Are you expecting it on 5th or 6th?
Actually, they said that on Monday or Tuesday. So I think as they didn't announce it Monday, so they will announce it Tuesday.
Okay, so all HSC candidates, they're looking into this.
Yes, sir.
Some news. Okay, fine. Okay, so do you sometimes there are extrajudicial killings?
Yes, sir.
So in many countries, in many countries. So do you support that? Do you think that sometimes is needed?
Oh, just sorry, sir. Actually, I'm not clear that.
Extrajudicial killings. By sometimes the police or some,
I think that they are important because we need to actually decrease the rate of the crimes. So I think some hard steps should be taken. Must be.
So why? What's the reason sometimes it takes place? What's the reason?
Actually, sir, its main thing is poverty, I think, because due to lack of money.
No. I'm not saying about crime. I'm saying that why some people, they're forced to, sideline law and all these proceedings and then go for extrajudicial.
So to be honest, I don't have enough idea on this stuff, that judiciary.
No. I'm saying that why because sometimes, especially in our country or in many countries, say it takes what many years, to what?
Oh, that one. So I
Yeah,
think that,
that's it.
oh, so actually the
Why?
main
Why?
thing.
Why sometimes they, even the police or some other forces, they go for extrajudicial? Why? What's the incentive? What's the
I think
reason for
so.
that?
I think so actually in developed country they have more judgment. Their judgment system is more developed, and they have more judges for normal people. And on our country, in our country, like we have very vast population, and we have least number of judges. So I think that's why the traffic increases in this case. And for this reason, the police and armed force take some steps only, just
Sometimes.
just
Yeah.
when they are certain that they are really harmful, and if they are being caught, and
And another problem in our country, what they get bail,
yeah, they
jamin,
get bails.
jamin,
Yeah,
quite easily, sometimes. So once they get out,
yeah,
again.
they will
Okay,
again.
so the problem is in our country sometimes. So, but we shouldn't support extrajudicial. That's the bottom line. But in a country like ours, where you don't have too many judges,
Yeah,
and sometimes even you can pay money, and if you are powerful,
yes
probably
sir.
you'll be able to go scot free.
Yeah,
So it's complex. I think sometimes even many other countries. It doesn't have to be in Bangladesh. In many other countries, it takes place.
so in
And
Bangladesh it's more than any other country, sir.
in Bangladesh, more. Okay, okay. So sometimes you'll have to live with that. Yeah, you can't help it.
Yes sir.
Okay. Who can I ask? Ajmeri? Ajmeri?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Do you have any framed photos? Have you framed any photos in your life? Are you into that? Some people, they only take photos, they don't frame it. But some people, they take the photos, not always, sometimes they take the photos and they frame it and they put it on the wall. Do you have any such pictures in your house?
Actually, I watched so many photos because it was our. We liked it very much to watch the photos, but didn't frame it on the wall. It's just in the album or with us, not in the frame. So, but we like photo. I like very much to take photos and keep capturing the moments.
Okay. Okay. So, do you think that people, they used to, previously, they used to frame it more than now? Why? Is there any particular reason? Or they used to do it more? Now we don't, or still people do that? Any
Uh,
idea whether it has decreased, this trend has decreased or increased? এটা কিন্তু এই ধরনের একটা কোয়েশ্চেন আসেই, মানে জিজ্ঞেস করে আগের সাথে ওটা
hmm,
জিজ্ঞেস করে কেন এটা বেড়েছে কমেছে, এই ধরনের একটা প্রশ্ন থাকে।
yes, sir.
তো এইটা কি, মানে আমরা কি আসলে বেশি করি, ডু ইউ ফ্রেম ইট মোর দেন বিফোর?
I don't think so, because nowadays we are more used to more spending our time in the Facebook social networking sites, so here we would like to represent ourselves, our photos in the social network, but before in previous we don't have any social
Yeah,
network.
in previous times,
but but in the previous time we did not have any social network site, so that time only one option to represent our picture through album or frame
through
it
album.
on the
Okay.
wall, on the wall.
Okay.
So
Do you think people, albums are less sold these days, albums? Or do you think that
yes,
people hardly buy albums?
Yes, I think so, because in the previous time, it's general that you in the in your birthday occasion, you or any marriage occasion, you received one album from the
Okay,
guest.
but I think these days also they at least buy one album, just one, only for
One
marriage. Only
marriage,
at least
right?
for the
Yes.
sake of, because you'll have to put those pictures. It's
Yes,
just a formality.
and most
When
of the time, when you have when you contact a photographer, the photographer give the album to you with the pictures, so you
with the
don't need to
pictures.
buy a album.
Okay, but you are not paying. You are but okay, you are paying for that anyways.
Yes,
Okay,
we are paying for that.
paying, but okay. Say, Abdullah Bhai, are you there? Abdullah Bhai,
Yes, sir.
you would like to participate? You
Yeah,
have,
sure.
okay,
Sure.
Abdullah Bhai. So these days we don't find too many concerts. Usually, I'm not saying especially. So, do you think? What about those band music? Are the band music are in decline? We had groups, LRB, Miles. Are they become less popular? Any idea about that? Or
No,
in
no,
your
I
time,
don't think so.
huh, why it's
I
happening?
don't think so. Nowadays, the culture in our country is shifting from the traditional one. But in the 90s, we found that there are lots of band music, pop culture, which is imported from the Western countries, and our people are also fond of those pop culture. And in our country, Mr. Azam Khan was the pop guru. And later on, we have found several pop groups and band music. And nowadays, due to the digitalization, I think that people are deviated from the pop culture and band music, and they can enjoy the YouTube,
Okay.
the
Say,
music through YouTube and any other digital media.
okay,
And
but
that's
they're
why
listening. But they're listening to music. No doubt about that. Think about
they're listening, but not like after the mark of the 90s.
90s.
Nowadays,
Okay,
people participate one or two programs or
I
concert,
think
but
there is a
not
reason.
frequently many programs.
Right. So there was only those concerts. Not now. Think about the internet. Internet can make you busy. Even just Facebook, you don't need anything. That will keep you preoccupied if you want to be occupied somehow. I'm not saying that those are very interesting, or that's a different story. Many people they love it, some people they don't love it, but there is something for everybody in the internet. I think
of course.
think about what if the government says that to say that they give you a golden handshake. Think about that. They will give you all the money, everything, pension, everything, and if they ask you that, you won't be able to do any kind of work. I think sometimes I was thinking, just if they give you a just internet, you kind of can remain occupied throughout the day. But this was not the case 10 or 15 years back or 20 years back. Now, I'm not saying that this complements, but somehow it's possible. There's so many things you can do with internet. You can learn something, you can really do something. Something new, something you think that, okay, so you just want to see some kind of videos, accident videos, those cars, some people, they get
Everything. You will get everything in the internet, because
you won't
nowadays
get bored.
everything.
So do you think that as internet is there, people become less bored than before?
Not like that. I think that people become bored very much, as I have I did research on this, the internet and cybercrime. That's why I have an idea regarding this, because there are several problems like paranoia, breakfast skipping, and domestic violence. All sorts of crimes are evolving from this internet, through the internet. Because one thing, as you know, we are, as a people of Bangladesh or citizen of Bangladesh, we are very much hospitable and very friendly and social as well. We like to mix with the people physically, to spend sometimes with gossiping and moving around here and there, and moving the beautiful places, visiting beautiful places. But due to this internet, when you spend more time in the internet, this is like an addiction. I always compare this with the drugs. Whenever you will take drug, you will sleep all the day. You will take drug in the night, at night, and you will sleep rest of the day. And same thing will happen in the internet. If you spend more time in the internet at night, then you have to sleep in the day, because you have to cover this your sleep in the day, as like a drug addiction. And this is one kind of version.
Okay, Abdullah bhai. So it's
Yes.
like that we don't actually love this. We don't love, but we
are habituated. We are
habituated,
But I think
we don't love it.
This, but socialization is very important things, and physical. You have to meet with each other, and then you will get more refreshment other than the internet. Otherwise, you will very much, you feel stuck to the internet.
But these days, what happens? As long as you give like to someone's picture, you know that we are connected. You know, he knows you are there.
So, we think so.
You know, we think
we are
so.
very busy.
But do you think that? I think our friendship, you know, it would have been better if we called her up or called him up. Things would have been better. But
obviously,
now we assume that we assume that as long as we give a birthday, you know, just okay, happy birthday, probably, you know, okay, it's not the same thing, huh? Calling up someone.
Obviously, it's not the same thing. If you meet anybody with physically, or you can compare easily. If you call or if you talk by mobile phone or through messenger or any other means, but if you meet with the same person physically, you will feel more comfortable, more relaxed, more refreshed.
Okay, fine. Thanks. Adnan, how are you?
Yes, sir, I'm fine. Alhamdulillah. How are you?
Fine. Okay. Thank you. Okay. So we you know, we were talking about this kind of, you know, things are changing.
Yes, sir.
You know, so is it good or bad? You know, you can't say something is good or something. You know, it has become very relative these days.
I think it's.
Do you think it's a bad or good? You know, it's about happiness.
Both. I think both. I think both.
Or no, what I'm saying, the amount of happiness, is it increasing? You know, in the world, or in internet. Do you think that internet, in kind of, if we think there's a certain amount of happiness, if we can quantify that, internet has increased that happiness, or it has kind of decreased that amount of happiness? If I think it's kind of constant, what do you think?
I think it's kind of constant, sir. So people are happy, but people are sad too, because internet has decreased the physical connection between people. You know, the people used to talk when if there was no internet, if there is less amount of internet, people are gonna talk to each other like in real. And this experience and talking through internet, it's not the same.
Yes, I think it's also like that. You know, people, think about Facebook, think about WhatsApp. For some reason, people don't want to write, not negative. about one's, say I'm in a bad situation. People don't, it's like a happy platform. People want, funny news. Sometimes what I'm saying is a platform where only, if there is a group of friends, 10, especially you might sometimes, not always, only the successful, they participate there more. They have the
Yes, sir.
time. The others, they don't have the time. They're more worried about whether they can keep their job. Sometimes it happens. I'm not saying all the time. So there's a
Yes, sir.
correlation. You might find that
Yes.
only the most successful among a group, they are more active. I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes it seems like that. If you
Yes, sir.
take a kind of a survey, you will find that those are, all the time present there. Sometimes it seems that what they're doing, how much time do they have? So almost probably they're there, 10 or 15 hours all the time. All the time they're posting. All the time they're posting. You need time and you need concentration.
Yes, sir.
So these are things. So okay, so you can say it's good or bad because the change is happening throughout the world. It's not
Yes, sir.
restricted to a generation. And so what do you think about that? Sometimes we compare our old generation was happier than ours. See, is
Yes,
there
exactly.
any basis to that, or there's no point in saying that there, because the definition of happiness is changing.
Yeah.
It's changing, and
Yes.
I think internet has played a big role, and
Yes, sir.
internet has kind of changed everything. Now there was a time you could compare, because many of the things were same, many, uh, you know and probably the car has been the same. And now I think
Exactly, sir.
internet is and what's the next thing in internet? What do you expect from the next big thing? Adnan, what you thinking? The best next thing? Not internet,
Uh,
from science.
I think not in it's not internet. There's gonna be robots. I think there are
What's
new
that?
techno
New
robots. Robots.
the
Robots.
robots has been there. Okay,
Yeah.
yes, but they will take to the next step. Okay,
Yes.
Faria, or even
Yes, sir.
Ajmeri, you are in this
Yes,
line.
sir.
What's the next thing, a big thing in the tech world, in computer tech world? What is it? Virtual reality or what? I think virtual VR is a or it's old. It's already
So
it
VR and AR, both are actually increasing day by day.
okay.
AR,
So they are there, but everything is increasing. Everything is getting more sophisticated. So what's the big thing, Faria? In your
sir,
view, what's
I
the
think
big thing?
AI.
AI, artificial
Yes,
intelligence.
sir.
Artificial
Because
intelligence has been there for many years.
many years, but the popularity of it is
It's
increasing
still there.
in these recent years, because the previous years people actually didn't know about this artificial intelligence. They actually know that the robot is only the source of artificial intelligence, but even the Google, even your phone apps, even there is anywhere artificial intelligence exists. So I
Okay,
think the
fine.
popularity of it is increasing.
Okay, Annan, are you there? Annan,
Yes,
Annan.
sir. Yes, sir.
So have you seen your father's? No, probably you haven't. Probably they used to read Bichitra, Ropar. They were magazines, weekly magazines.
No,
I don't
sir.
know whether you have heard that.
No.
Definitely, and Jai Jai Din. They were, we used
Oh,
to read those many years back. Why people they don't read these magazines? Why? Because they don't read even in the. I don't think they even read these magazines in the internet. And Begum, many years back in your grandma's time. So
uh,
why it's happening? Why people, or is it bad for? Because magazines, you become specialized.
yes.
and we don't read magazines. So even Krida Jagat, I don't know whether it's there. We used to know about cricket, football, what's happening in the
So
month.
actually, sir, today the world has changed. Actually, at that time you used to read magazines only just to know about a certain thing. Like there are sports magazines and the magazines about celebrity. But now there are YouTube and just Google News. They are providing these information. So as a result, no one has that passion to read the whole magazine. They just the YouTube and the Google News, they just give the shortest and the most important news of the day. So for this reason the use of magazine has been decreased, but still there is also the needs of magazine. There is still the
Okay.
online magazine.
I can add one thing. I read a SAT article. SAT, you know, SAT. You know,
Yes, sir.
those who would like to, you know,
Like
I was
jury, like SAT, like that.
SAT is undergrad. I was solving it with one of the students. They had an article. There is a, you know, there's a twin article. In one section, they have different perspective on the same issue. They were talking about internet, whether internet is making us smarter. What they're saying, they're making us smarter in different way. Now we only want to know how to, where to look for. As long as we can know how to Google something, you know, we are safe.
Yes.
You know, people are becoming good at that in sourcing something, and how to get something, but they don't want to know about that thing much. They don't need to, because it's a waste, because it's changing. And the other, you know, one person is saying that they're becoming good at that. So the other person was saying that this is good. They're becoming smarter. They know how to solve problems, because you know, even finding to Google. But in fact, they're losing that. Not there's more people they used to read in depth, but now only you need to, then you do that. Other than that, so it's difficult to say whether it's good or bad. So you know, it's different. I'm saying it's not about good or bad. It's different. People know I don't have to remember these phone numbers, because as long as I know how to reach a,
The
you know,
phone number.
file,
Yes,
or
sir.
I have Google, I know how to go to that contact list. I'm done. So you don't have to. So it's a big thing. It has changed in a big way. Everything has changed in a big way. So now our objective has changed. The objective of learning. You just have to know where you will find that. And probably sometimes you may not even have to know that.
Yes.
Okay, so what about who can say Ajmeri? Ajmeri?
Yes,
Ajmeri?
sir.
So you
Yes, sir.
are working in a humanitarian organization. Do you
Yes, sir.
really, are you really happy that you are serving the poor or those are disadvantaged? Are you, you know, I understand, you know that you are working in a humanitarian, but do they work in, but what sometimes I feel that when you get into organization, which could be humanitarian, you don't find it that is they're really working for the poor. It seems that it's another business organization, but they're getting aids and they're using that. Not always. Yes, definitely you are helping them. You're talking about that. Your vocabulary like that. But are you really getting that happiness? Do you really feel that you have that compassion towards people? Do you
Uh,
feel that, or you're disillusioned? What you thought that I'm going to directly help the poor and the disadvantaged, but you see that you are just working. There's no difference between you working here and working for a for-profit organization. Sometimes do you feel that?
no, sir. I don't feel that things, because most of the things, yes, you are right, for most of our organization, because they don't have any monitoring system, they don't have any structural system, so people may misuse the aid or something like this. But when you are in UN system, there all things are in structured way. There has a monitoring system, strong monitoring system, and here we are working for the people who are vulnerable. So here we are not only giving the aid to the people, we also protected the people who are vulnerable, who have female or other characters. So there are lots of criteria for selection of beneficiaries, and then we are also
Okay. So Ajmeri, how do you compare, the way you work with, say, think about Grameen Bank or even BRAC, they lend money and they take interest. I'm just saying, so do you think
right.
that one is also a humanitarian, or that's different? But BRAC is a world biggest what
Yes.
you know
Yes, but as I also in BRAC last 5 years, for 2014 to 2018. So there is one program microfinance, which is under the BRAC. Okay, and also for the Grameen Bank. So I think from my point of view, this program is also required for the poor people who want to make income, or who want to uh, do something. So those are other things. When we give the aid to the humanitarian, then there are no benefit or there are no give and take option. But when we are
okay, I understand. Okay, so that was a little bit different because they're objective. So what
different.
I'm trying to say, that when you're working there,
Mhm.
even when you're talking about with your fellow, you're not talking about what saying those who are deprived, how to help them. Rather, you're no, not you. I'm saying that the structure should. Okay, so there's no perfect thing. What I'm trying to say that we assume one thing, but there's not a perfect. If it's not like that. There are some people who wants to help others. So if you get into BRAC, if you go into that kind of organization, sometimes you might find that you don't even feel that you are a part of organization which are directly helping others. But definitely they're focusing on that. I'm not saying, but not 100%. I'm saying that you'll have to compromise. You might be very interested, so probably you have the experience. So I
So
think we don't live in a perfect world, and we shouldn't even assume like that.
sir, now not anything is perfect. So what everyone is trying to do perfect every day, and every day they
Okay,
are,
so that's
so they
better.
are trying.
So
So they are,
we are always trying. Probably one day we'll reach there.
yes. And
We
another
have
thing is that without an organization, if you want to do something, it's quite tough
impossible.
for us.
Yes,
It's
I
quite tough.
understand it. So that's the point, because the organization structure is such, in order to keep you intact, keep your intact in the entity, to survive, even for organization, any organization. First of all, you'll have to go by that structure.
Right,
Then comes what you want to do. That's bigger than
right,
sometimes your goal. Other than that, you'll not survive. That's a big thing.
right,
That's a big thing.
right,
Okay.
right, Sachin.
So, okay. So, Faria, so have you done any charity work? Have you done any charity work,
Not
or
charity.
have you gave any money to any charity organization in
Sir,
Bangladesh?
actually, I don't have enough money to
Okay,
actually give in
whatever,
charity,
whatever.
but I used to give the helpless people with the money.
So, how do you give the beggars? Do you give money to
Yes,
the beggars? This is
sometimes
how.
beggars, sometimes a little child in the streets.
Okay,
Sometimes,
but I think which one is more common? In our country, we sometimes, most of the time, somehow we give even money to our local masjid, mosque. Sometimes, huh? That's very common. I think, you know, they have orphanage, you know, that yes, they need money, you know. Okay, so is that the most common way of giving money to charity in our country, mostly through mosque, mostly
sir,
through
it's a
mosque?
common way, but sometimes there is corruption in this way. Some people actually take those money and even don't even give those charities. So I think it's common way,
So
but
the,
not the
you know,
actual.
okay, I don't have any idea. Do you think, you know, those they're also human? You know, those our imam. We don't know. We take it for granted. We don't assume that there. So
Yes.
sometimes it might even happen. They might use that for their own.
Sir,
You know,
it's a little, I think a little amount of people, a little number of people do that, but
do that.
generally
Not always. Huh?
not always.
Okay. So even their salary is not that high. That's also another problem.
Yes, sir. Sir,
You know,
even in these days, there are lots of institutions which are helping the helpless people in the corona, in the any disaster in our country. I think even the 1 taka, and something people want 1 taka for giving the
yes,
charity.
you know,
It's a
just
great
even what
thing, I
happened.
think. Even because
I
in one
think that's another thing. If
whole
we knew,
platter of rice.
if we had that idea that if I give this money
Yes.
and that will really go to the poor, many more people would have given it. Is it a reason why sometimes people they don't, you know, be very generous about giving money?
Sorry, sir, I couldn't hear your question.
No, I'm saying that if it were more transparent,
Yes.
that yes, this money, even sometimes what happened, I'm not saying, you know, you see young students, they're coming with boxes and they're saying that yes, somebody is in the hospital, he or she has what
Cancer
blood
patient.
cancer. Yes, we give money, no doubt, but I don't know, there are lots of people who doubt it as well. You know, you never know. Because you know who's conducting this. Definitely they are not the people.
Yes. Sir, I
It's
think
not
we
just,
should check the authentication of this charities. I think.
and sometimes if you see that they are well dressed people, they're from a, you know, they have identity card, and you think they're genuine.
Yes,
So
sir. Sir, in our
I'm not.
university life,
Yes,
we see lots of
yes.
students.
I'm not saying those are bad, but sometimes what happens, you know, we second, you know, I don't know. Other than that, you know, we want to give, but sometimes we are in doubt because even in the beggars, in the road, in the beggar, we know that many of them they have houses.
Sir,
You
I
know,
think you should give those beggars who have no leg or who have blinding problem.
another problem. You know, even they're not getting the money. That's the problem. Even they're not getting the money.
Yes, sir. So some actually, sir, dalal English to
Yes,
masashna.
you know, they have brokers. Even
Yes, sir.
they are not getting the money. They are only getting their food.
Actually, they
This is
are
the
being forced by the brokers. I think.
that's the thing. That's the thing. So these are complicated issues.
Yes.
We want to give, but sometimes we okay. So whom can I? Abdullah Bhai.
Sir,
You know, okay. So what do you think about our job sector? Do you think if you have qualifications, you will get good jobs in Bangladesh, or you know, it doesn't work all the time? Still, at present, what do you think?
uh,
You know,
it's very difficult to say, but I think a qualification must, because nowadays government are trying to be
even
more transparent.
government. I think that's a
Government
very
and
positive.
basically, yes,
Okay,
particularly
Abdullah
if you
bhai,
look
one
at the
thing.
yes.
The quota. What about the quota? You know, the quota, is it there or no? There's no quota. You know, it's very related, quota.
No. In the BCS, only in BCS there is no quota, but
The others,
other
others
in
they
the
have.
others class job or in the other sectors, the quota will be maintained.
Quota
And
will be maintained.
and you
Are you happy with that? You know, in the BCS, the quota is no longer there. Are you happy?
in some extent I am happy, but if you think broadly, then some quota should be there, because particularly for the women and for the tribal people and for the some districts as well.
Some district,
in
okay,
some
sometimes
districts,
it happens.
but I think quota should be maintained very much in less amount, less percentage. Other
But
than
now,
I think
now Abdul Bhai, I don't have any idea. Now, is it totally out? You know, this
totally
quota?
out in the particularly in the BCS exam.
In the
Only
BCS,
BCS.
completely.
BCS.
There's
No, completely BCS, but it may be indirectly imposed because if you come from the the inner distant district or the poor, or where
I see.
the living standard is discretion. In some extent, it might be in the indirectly in the government if the tribal people come to the Viva level, then they will be considered by the Viva board, because otherwise the tribal people you will in future you won't be any tribal people in the BCS job. And some districts are also the backward districts, and you will not find any officer from the districts, because particularly some districts are very much the talented guys like Kumilla, Borisha,
they have more education,
Chittagong,
more
Dhaka,
institution,
and yes,
more
like
education
the forward
and they're already
districts.
successful. They're already successful.
They will occupy most of the jobs, most of the positions.
And they are, if they're already in the Viva board, they might,
yes,
you know, you might find that there's a bias. There could be a bias. It's very likely.
Well, I shouldn't say like that, but it may be. And,
maybe I'm saying that it's not written anywhere, but it's human. We are human. You know, you might find that yes, he's smart. You know, it doesn't
nepotism. Nepotism works everywhere in the world, not
yes,
in Bangladesh
everywhere.
only.
It's everywhere. We are human being. You know, we are human being,
but for the young generation, I think quality must. You have to study more and more for getting a job in like our country and the third world country like Bangladesh, and because a huge competition, and nowadays few students are very much conscious about their career, about their education, and aware, and our guardians, parents as well, they are very much aware about the education of their child. So this but and the quality of our student is also increasing day by day, and it is undoubtedly the quality of a student of Bangladesh is
increasing, and internet
increasing,
is playing a big role.
they can compete
anywhere
in the world. And the researcher of Bangladesh is welcomed in the UK, USA as well. So government should give emphasis the education sector, and I think education sector should be more transparent, and should be level playing field for the meritorious student to come in the job market of our Bangladesh, as well as in any other places in the world.
Fine. Okay, Ajmeri, are you there? So you have been working in a development organization. So what's the impact of climate change? You know, do they talk about that? You know, do you have any research in your organization and how the climate change is impacting, especially the livelihood in Bangladesh? Because especially who we are living in city, we are not directly impacted by the climate change, except heavy rain, drought, But there are lots of people, especially in many areas, they used to cultivate, previously, 3 crops, but now things have changed. The river has dried up and the season has shifted. So now they have just one or two. So any idea? Do you have any idea about this one?
Yes, sir. I have an opportunity because as I'm working in the food security sector and livelihood team, so it's my opportunity to work in the livelihood activities and livelihood sectors in the Bangladesh perspective. So yes, the climate change affects lot of our livelihood activities. As if I give an example, especially on the agriculture section. So when we have the climate change, as example, if we know the uri dhan will produce at 3 month or 4 month, and it depends on the rain of the season. But when the climate is changing, that time there are less of iridhan. So that will impact the livelihood of the beneficiaries or the vulnerable people. So the climate change affects mostly the negative way in our livelihood activities.
Okay, fine. Adnan,
Yes, sir.
say if you think that if President Trump
Yes,
wants to
sir.
demolish Puran Dhaka, and he will give all the money, for high rises
Hmm.
and everything. The American architects will build a new city in Puran Dhaka. So would you support that move? If it's a referendum in the vote, would you support,
Sir, I
this kind of?
personally would not support.
So what, for Haji Biryani, or for, you will miss Haji Biryani
Uh,
or,
I think
or
I'll miss
Rajak?
many of those things. There are many things in Purandaka, which
But do you
if
really
they
visit
if
that
it
place as often? Do you really visit? Some people,
often,
they,
yeah,
they
yeah,
only
very
talk
often.
about that, but they don't go there. But you go there. You are a
Yes,
foodie
sir,
person.
very often.
Foodie, mostly for foodie.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What are the places you frequent? What are the places?
I frequently go to Lalbagh, and there is a store in Pakistan near Tara Masjid Road in
Okay.
Purandaka.
Okay.
We went there for fuchka. So
Fuchka.
there's some places
There are lots
where
of places.
yeah, there are lots of places. We
Okay.
usually go.
So
Not,
you won't
not
trade
there.
anything, and then
No.
so what will happen? Say because you go there,
If yeah,
if
it was
they demolish the whole thing, and if they say that they will make, say, 50 floor in apartments, thousands of that, and there you can
okay.
put everybody. Almost it will be a mini Singapore with everything there, and with roads, everything. You don't have to come out from there, and you will feel
Okay.
that you are living in Singapore. So even if they want to do that, would you agree on the, or our heritage is more, more precious?
I think the heritage is more precious than being like in a world like being in a world like Singapore, that I'm living in Singapore. There are lots of places which you can't actually. There are many
Okay. Another thing, what I have heard that
history.
the people living there, they were told like that. They
Okay.
will make high rises. The government will make high rises, and they will expand the roads and everything, so they don't lose their habitat, everything. But they didn't want that. The Puran Dhaka people. What could be the reason? What's the main reason? But they don't want to move away from that place. Oh no, they didn't have to move away. They will build up apartments in a condominium, and they will let them live there. So still they didn't want it. Why? What could be the best reason?
I think the reason is there's
Oh,
some
another reason could be they have their own business there. their business and
They have their own
their
business.
house.
They have their
The
own.
same place they do their business, and many of
They
them.
own their own land, and many places are like their grandfathers,
Grandfathers. Okay.
grandfathers, and their it's family. Not
Okay.
from-
One day, what if one day? Do you think Dhanmondi will become old Dhaka? Dhanmondi, Gulshan, and we will have
Might
new
Dhanmondi.
Dhaka.
I think
Is already-
Dhanmondi has already become like Puran Dhaka. It
Okay,
has already.
100 in. Think about 150, 60 years. These buildings
Yeah.
will be old buildings.
Yes, sir.
Huh? Almost.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so there is a chance that all Dhanmondi could become, or Gulshan could become old part of old Dhaka.
Yes, sir.
I don't know. Have you ever thought about that? Down in what will happen after 200 years, how Dhaka will look like, or no?
No, I have sometimes I feel like it's gonna be kind of like Singapore, and because it's gonna be developed, more
It will
developed than
develop.
now. Yeah, it will obviously develop.
Okay, so do you support the mayor? He's trying to do away with all the cable wires. Will he be able to do that in full Dhaka? The cables, there will be no cables.
Well,
No, okay. One thing. Do you think that our mayors, if they're sincere, they can do a lot of things? Is because sometimes many of the mayors they don't really want to do, or there's a limit to that. They only will try and nothing will happen. It's happening. I'm saying it's happening. Other than that, things would have been much worse. So we have now what Atik, Mr. Atik, and Mr. Taposh. Our okay. So, are you hopeful about they will bring about a change? Any idea about that? Have you thought about that? They'll be able to...
Sir, I have no.
You don't have. Okay, Abdullah Bhai. Abdullah Bhai,
Sir,
are you
sir.
hopeful that if the mayors are sincere, if they have visions, things might...
It's an interesting question.
No, I'm just saying. It doesn't have to be a political answer. Just because we are going through there are lots of changes.
As a human being, we have to have a hope, but
Yes.
in reality, it's very difficult because
Is it the
only
budget?
1%.
Is it the budget? Because
No, not like that. Not like the budget, but
because
our
you have a better
culture, our
perspective.
political culture. Yes, our leaders are not good at in planning and not good at in implementing the projects. That's the problem.
They may be good at heart. Okay, I'm trying to do good, but it's not only
they are
one
trying.
thing.
They will try. They will.
No,
try
what I'm
because,
saying,
they
just
are-
wanting is not enough. You need infrastructure.
Yes.
You need planning. You need lots of people working behind that, and
You-
they're very...
as in the recent past, Mayor Anis, I think.
Yes, Anis, he has said.
He was successful because I was there in Gulshan. Then
Yes, I was going to talk about him, and he has
Yes,
set the standard so high that
yes.
everybody is having a challenge.
First
now.
of all, I thought that he won't be successful, but he had taken all the projects, particularly the road renovation in Gulshan, Uttara, and in whole the North City Corporation area. But all of a sudden, I think that his thinking was good. He
So what was
tried
different,
to renovate.
Abdullah Bhai? Abdullah
Yes,
Bhai, what
his
was different
courage and
in that
he's I think he was a good a businessman and a good
human
leader
being.
as well. And
Businessman.
his thinking
leader.
was very honest, and his thinking was very positive. There's the reality, and he didn't care anybody. That's the different thing.
This is one thing.
Different thing.
He has been
Yes.
positive for many years. He was positive, 30, 40 years back even. But
Yes,
the
yes.
other people, I'm not saying they're positive, but they don't have that track record. We don't have that, you know. We used to see those,
Yeah.
even videos 30, 40 years back. You know, the
I
same
think
person.
he was very exceptional,
He
and
was very exceptional.
if you look at his personal life, he starts work at early in the morning from 6 o'clock,
6
and he worked all day long, and he didn't care anybody, even the contractor, even engineers, even any officers,
Many
and
officers.
we are very much unfortunate if we have such kind of personality for 10 years or 15 years, at least 15.
At least he could have set a precedence. At
Yeah,
least if he worked for
yes.
another 10 years, it
10
could have
years. I
set
think
a
at least the
precedent.
North City Corporation area would become a paradigm change. I think.
Paradigm shift in some way.
Shift.
Okay, a big
Yes.
change. Okay.
And it's the person like Mr. Mayor Anif, Mayor Atik. I know him from.
He seems to be, because I didn't have the opportunity. He seems to be very energetic. You know, we want to have hope because he's going there.
Well,
here.
we should have hope. We should have hope. We should give some
But
time
not
to
all
him.
people are same capable. Capability is a different thing. Okay, some people are more capable.
I would like to
people are
say
less.
that this word that every person has the distinct qualities and there are different qualities and different attitude and their different leadership capabilities as well. So we should have some hope. And
okay, we
let's
should.
see.
There's no way out. That's the thing.
Yes.
Okay, Anand.
Yes, sir.
Who is
Yes,
your
sir.
role model? Who is your role model? Because without role model, you'll only think about money. You'll only think about, you know, getting a job in Google. Who is your role model? You know, anything you can be inspired. You can, you know, look beyond.
Actually, there are many role models. Like in case of actor, there are some, and some cricketers, footballers. Like many, I love many people.
Or TikTok. We now have
No,
TikTok
no, no. I don't
celebrities.
like TikTok at all, sir.
Okay, so you know, apart from actresses, you know, what about others? I think this is there should be others as well. You can have
Singers.
singers. Apart from singers, leaders, you know, politicians.
Oh, political leaders like that.
Yeah.
I love Imran Khan. Then there comes Barack Obama. Then
In Bangladesh, we want to know about Bangladesh.
Hiron, that our ex-mayor, so Hiron uncle. I love him very much.
Okay, Hiron uncle. Is he? He's not in what? Yes, what?
He passed away, sir.
Oh, yes, I read it probably. He passed away.
He was one of the best mayor the Borshal ever had, sir.
So he was an elderly person. I remember, but I don't.
No, actually, he wasn't that much elderly. He was drinking one night and he had a stroke, maybe stroke or heart attack, something like that.
Okay, but he really worked well, and he changed Borishal.
Yes, sir, he changed Borishal. Like it's like but before he was the mayor, the Borishal was a different shape, and it wasn't that decorated or this much beautiful. He's also known as the Nogo Noyon of Borishal, because without him the Borishal could not be just prospered this fast.
Okay, I don't know, you know, because there could be.
Yes.
Oh, Borishal. Yes, I had Sarwar. Was there someone named Sarwar?
Yes, Sarwar is from BNP, and
from BNP.
Hiron is from Awami League.
Because Sarwar's, you know, her daughter was my student, you know, in PIE. You know, I got her. Now she's
he's one of the. He's now a big post in BNP, sir.
He's in big post. Yes, I know that. Okay, so okay, probably we had, you know, just we didn't have too much talk on but, the usual questions. I don't know. Okay, so let's do some reading. Anybody, if anybody of you interested?
Okay, sir.
Okay, so let's go for some reading. We can do some reading. Reading. Okay, who is going to do reading with us? Faria, are you going to do a reading? Faria or Adnan? Adnan sometimes do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
you're ready? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
sir.
So let's check it out. Huh? Let's do a reading. Achha. We're going to do a reading, and we're going to do this one. We're going to do this one today. So this one is making every drop count. The history of human civilization. Okay, this one. Let count, and what we're going to have. This one. Oh, at the beginning we have, I think, there's a heading. There is a heading, and this is what yes or not given. So two types of things we'll get. Let's start. So let's do the heading first. Huh? Let's check the heading. So what we are going to do, I usually suggest there's no point in reading that. You can read if it's your style. If it helps you, you can do that. But I personally believe that it's better to focus this one. If you focus on too many things, too many words, what happens? You distract, and you get distracted in most of the cases. So the first thing, paragraph B. Paragraph B is what we can do. We can cross it out first. And paragraph B, what we can do, we can just slightly cross it out. This one as well. Okay, so let's move on to the first one, and we're going to check that out. Okay, let's read it, and we'll have to find. Fine. So listen. একটা সেন্টেন্সে কি হয়, একটা প্যারাগ্রাফে হচ্ছে মেইন কিছু আইডিয়া থাকে আর কিছু এক্সপ্লেনেশন থাকে। একটা আইডিয়া বলার পর ওইটা আরো এক্সপ্লেন করার জন্য কিছু অংশ দেয়, তারপর আবার আরেকটা আইডিয়া আসতে পারে। সো যেইটা আমার মাথায় থাকবে আমি যাতে মেইন আইডিয়া গুলো মিস না করি, মানে মেইন আইডিয়া থেকেই হেডিং হবে। ঠিক আছে, মেইন আইডিয়া থেকেই সবসময় হেডিং হবে। হ্যাঁ, এর থেকে হবে না। হ্যাঁ, এর থেকে হবে না। আচ্ছা, আমরা পড়ি, তারপর আমরা পড়বো। Let's read it out. Just a moment. Say the history of human civilization is entwined. Entwined মানে জড়িয়ে থাকা with the history of the ways we have learned to manipulate water resources. তাহলে water resources are human civilization go hand in hand. As towns gradually expanded, water was brought from increasingly remote sources, leading to sophisticated engineering efforts such as dams and aqueducts. আচ্ছা, so civilization যত সামনের দিকে এগিয়েছে, এই water resource তত অ্যাডভান্স হয়েছে। At the height of the Roman Empire, 9 major systems with an innovative layout of pipes and well-built sewers supplied the occupants of Rome with as much water per person as is provided in many parts of the industrial world today. আচ্ছা, তাহলে কি নিয়ে কথা বলেছে এখানে? মূলত যে বলতে চাচ্ছে যে সিভিলাইজেশনের সাথে ওয়াটার রিসোর্স সিস্টেম একটা ভেরি কানেক্টেড, এবং পরে একটা উদাহরণ দিয়েছে রোমান এম্পায়ারের সাথে। রোমান এম্পায়ারে ওরা এত আধুনিক ছিল যে তখন আর এখনকার প্রায় একই ধরনের, হ্যাঁ, একই সিস্টেম প্রায়। তাহলে কোনটা হতে পারে আমাদের? কি হতে পারে? সায়েন্টিস্ট কল ফর a revision of policy, an explanation of reduced water use, the irrigation system fall into disease, environmental effects, the financial cost of recent technological improvement, the relevance to health, addressing the concern over increasing populations, a surprising downward trend in demand for water, the need to raise standards, a description of ancient water supplies. কোনটা দেবো আমরা? Anybody? হ্যাঁ কোনটা?
So 7.
আচ্ছা কোনটা হতে পারে? 7.
Yes.
The relevance to health.
জি।
এটা কিভাবে হয়? এটা অন্যকে anybody else? Anybody? You can listen to me, others? আচ্ছা আচ্ছা তারও let me কিভাবে করব? Okay. Okay, কোনটা হবে? কোনটা দেয়া যাবে? কোনটা বেস্ট? Anybody else? Anybody?
Sorry, the last again.
Last a description of ancient water supply. এটা হবে। আচ্ছা তারপরটা দেখি। Let's read it. The next paragraph. Yet there is a dark side to the picture. Despite our progress, তাহলে overall একটা negative idea নিয়ে কথা বলবো হয়তো, but despite our progress, half of the world's population still suffers with water services inferior to those available to the ancient Greeks.
দেখা যাচ্ছে না স্যার।
ও আচ্ছা দেখা যাচ্ছে না, এটা এখন হয়েছে।
এটা কি সি হবে? সিটা না স্যার?
হ্যাঁ সিটা পড়ছি আমরা, না বিটা আর পড়ছে না। তারপরে বিটা একটু পড়া যায়, বিটাও একটু পড়লে কি হয় যে এইটা ওই যে পরে আবার ইয়ে আছে আমাদের true false not given. During the Industrial Revolution and population explosion of 19th and 20th centuries, the demand for water rose dramatically. Unprecedented construction of tens of thousands of monumental engineering projects designed to control floods, protect clean water supplies, and provide water for protect clean water supplies and provide water for irrigation and hydropower brought sound. Hello.
Sir, 5.
Yes.
Hello. Sorry.
Yes, sir.
During the Industrial Revolution, the population explosion of 19th and 20th century, the demand for water rose dramatically. Unprecedented construction, food production has kept pace with soaring populations, mainly because of the expansion of artificial irrigation systems that make possible the growth of 40% of the world's food. Nearly 1/5 of all electricity generated water-wise is produced by during the industrial এখানে মূলত কি হয়েছে এটা নিয়ে একটা কথা বলেছি, এটা যেহেতু অ্যানসার আছে আমরা দেখব না। Yet there is a dark side to the picture. Despite our progress, half of the world's population still suffers with water services inferior to those available to the ancient Greeks and Romans, as the United Nations report on access to water reiterated in November 2001. More than 1 billion people lack access to clean drinking water. Some 2.5 billion do not have adequate sanitation services. Preventable water-related diseases kill an estimated 10,000 to 20,000 children every day, and the latest the latest evidence suggests that we are falling behind in efforts to solve these problems. আচ্ছা এটা কি হতে পারে? এটা কি নিয়ে কথা বলেছে মূলত? যে যেমন পজিটিভ জিনিস আছে, অনেক কিছু করা হয়েছে কিন্তু এখনো অনেক কিছুই বাকি আছে, না? আমরা অনেক ল্যাকিং আছি। তাহলে হ্যাঁ, এটা কোনটা? Which one? Scientists call for revision of person experiment food reduce water. Environmental effects, the relevance to health, addressing the concern of a surprising downward trend in demand of water, the need to raise standard. কোনটা হতে পারে?
Sir, 5.
5. এটা environmental effects. এটা কি environmental effects নাকি? এটা কোনটা? আরেকবার দেখেন। বলছে আমাদের অনেক কিছু বাকি আছে, আমাদের যেমন পজিটিভ জিনিস হয়েছে কিন্তু এত কিছু করেও এখনো মানুষ পানিই পায় না। ভালো 6 সম্ভবত এখানে গেছে, সম্ভবত 10 সম্ভবত সি নাকি না কি হবে? 10 হবে গ্রেড স্ট্যান্ডার্ড নাকি না, নাকি অন্য কিছু, নাকি এইটা 7 হতে পারে রিলেভেন্স টু হেলথ। আচ্ছা ওইটা আবার দেখি আমরা। আর উই টকিং অ্যাবাউট হেলথ? আরেকবার দেখি যে একটু দেখেন তো এটা কি হেলথ নিয়ে কথা বলছে? স্যানিটেশন, প্রিভেন্টেবল ওয়াটার ডিজিজ কিল অ্যান্ড এটা এভরিডে অ্যান্ড লেটেস্ট সেমিসাইকেল উই আর ফলোইং ইন এফোর্ট টু সলভ দিস প্রবলেম। তাহলে কি এটা কি প্রবলেম? এটা হেলথ প্রবলেম নাকি
হেলথ?
এটা মূলত হেলথ। আচ্ছা হেলথ হচ্ছে, তাহলে কি হচ্ছে? তাহলে আমাদের এখানে বোঝায় যে রেলেভেন্স টু আচ্ছা হেলথ এইটা। আচ্ছা তারপরটা একটু পড়ি, ডি তে চলে যাচ্ছে। the consequences of our water policies, এখানে ওয়াটার পলিসি ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে extend beyond jeopardizing human health. the consequence of water policies আমাদের শুধু এই পলিসি গুলো আমাদের হিউম্যান হেলথ না, এর বাইরেও ক্ষতি করছে। tens of millions of people have been forced to move from their homes, often with little warning or compensation, to make way for the reservoirs behind dams. More than 20% of all freshwater fish species are to make way for these reservoirs behind dams. More than 20 of all freshwater fish species are now threatened or endangered because dams and water withdrawals have destroyed the free-flowing river ecosystems where they thrive. Certain irrigation practices degrade soil quality and reduce agriculture productivity. Groundwater aquifers are being pumped down faster than they're naturally replenished in parts of India, China, and USA and elsewhere. And disputes over shared water resources have led to violence and continue to raise local, national, and even international tensions. আচ্ছা এইটা কি হবে?
স্যার এটা হতে পারে the explanation of for reduced water use.
না এটা কি ওয়াটার ইউজ কম করছে
করতে হবে আর কি, সায়েন্টিস্টরা চিন্তা করতেছে।
এটা কি নিয়ে বলছে? এই যে জিওপার্ডিজম বিয়ন্ড হেলথের বাইরে, এইটা বোধহয় এনভায়রনমেন্ট। এটা এনভায়রনমেন্ট কি সব এনভায়রনমেন্টাল ক্ষতিটা হচ্ছে
এনভায়রনমেন্টাল ইফেক্টস। হ্যাঁ এটাই হবে,
এনভায়রনমেন্টাল ইফেক্ট হচ্ছে। আচ্ছা তারপর আমরা পরেরটায় একটু যাই। পরেরটায় এরপরে আমরা এটা পড়বো, ইটা পড়বো, ই। At the outset of the new millennium, however, the way resource planners think about water is beginning to change. The focus is slowly shifting back to the provisions of basic human and environmental needs as top priority, ensuring some for all. At the outset of the new millennium, however, the way resource planners think about water is beginning to change. Think about water, the change of the key. The focus is slowly shifting back to the provision of basic human environment needs as top priority, ensuring some for all instead of more for some. Some water experts are now demanding that existing infrastructure be used in smarter ways rather than building new facilities, which is increasingly considered the option of last, not first resort. This shift in philosophy has not been universally accepted, and it comes with strong opposition from some established water organizations. Nevertheless, it may be the only way to address successfully the pressing problems of providing everyone with clean water to drink, adequate water to grow food, and a life free from preventable water-related illness. আচ্ছা, কি হতে পারে? এটা কোনটা হেডিং হতে পারে?
এটা কি স্যার যে 7 হবে?
এটা কি হতে পারে? 77 addressing the concern of an increasing population. না, পপুলেশন নিয়ে কি কথা বলছে?
স্যার এটা তো 8 স্যার,
রিভিশন হয়তো সায়েন্টিফিক।
কোনটা হবে? এই যে রিভিশন, এটা পলিসি। এটা 1 হবে। এই যে আমরা বলছি না, নতুন করে চিন্তা করতে হবে যে এক্সিস্টিং যা আছে এটাই কিভাবে স্মার্ট, নতুন না করে এটা করলে আমাদের বেটার হবে। আচ্ছা, তারপর হচ্ছে এখন এফ না, fortunately and unexpectedly the demand for water is not rising as rapidly as some predicted. As a result, the pressure to build new water infrastructure has diminished over the past 2 decades. Although population, industrial output, and economic productivity have continued to soar in developed nations, the rate at which people withdraw water from aquifers, rivers, and lakes has slowed. And in a few parts of the world, demand has actually fallen. এটা বোধহয় একটু ইজি হওয়ার কথা, এখানে তো শুধু ডিমান্ড নিয়ে কথা বলেছে। কি হয়েছে?
2 নম্বরটাই তো দাও।
2 নম্বর। আচ্ছা, এখানে রিডিউস ওয়াটার ইউজ, আবার এখানেও একটা বলেছে সারপ্রাইজিং ডাউনওয়ার্ড।
9 নম্বরটা।
ও তাহলে এটা হইতে পারে ডায়মন্ড।
কোনটা? এইটা বোধহয় না, ট্রেন্ডটা।
9 নম্বরটা, হ্যাঁ
এটা 9 নম্বর।
9 নম্বর।
আচ্ছা, নাম্বার
ডিমান্ড হবে, হ্যাঁ, ইউজ তো না, ডিমান্ড।
হ্যাঁ, এটা ডিমান্ড। আচ্ছা, তারপর আমরা এবার জি তে যাই। What explains this remarkable turn of event? 2 factors. People have figured out how to use water more efficiently, and communities are rethinking their priorities for water use. Throughout the first 3 quarters of the 20th century, the quality of fresh water consumed per person doubled on average. In the USA, water withdrawals increased tenfold while the population quadrupled. But since 1980, the amount of water consumed per person has actually decreased. Thanks to a range of new technologies that help to conserve water in homes and industry. In 1965, for instance, Japan used approximately 13 million gallons of water to produce 1 million of commercial output. By 1989, this had dropped to 3.5 million gallons, even accounting for inflation, almost a quadrupling of water productivity. In the USA, water withdrawals have fallen by more than 20. এখানে কি বলছে? এখানে কি বলছে? কেন করেছে না এটা?
Sir, I think এটা the explanation of water reduction ওইটা হইতে পারে।
কোনটা হতে পারে? আচ্ছা, এই যে
2 নম্বরটা।
An explanation of reduced water use. Okay. Water use কেন? এটা explanation দিয়েছে। আর H, on the other hand, dams, aqueducts, and other kinds of infrastructure will still have to be built, particularly in developing countries where basic human needs have not been met. For such projects must be built to higher specifications and with more accountability to local people and their environmental than in the past. And even in regions where new projects seem warranted, we must find ways to meet demands with fewer resources, expecting ecological criteria and to a smaller budget. আচ্ছা, এটা কি হতে পারে? লাস্টেরটা আরেকবার দেখবো আমরা, ছোট
আরেকবার দেখি। hybrid.
We still have to rebuild, but it must be with higher specific and with more accountability to local people and the environment than in the past. And even in regions where new projects seem warranted, and we must find ways to meet demands with fair resources, respecting ecological criteria and trust more. এটা কোনটা আমাদের কি করতে হবে আরো এফিশিয়েন্টলি বানাতে হবে তাহলে কম বানাবো কিন্তু আরো আধুনিক হয়ে যাবে টেকনোলজি কোনটা
Sir, I think 6 হইতে পারে।
ওরা বোধহয় এই ক্ষেত্রে গেছে we need to raise standards মানে প্রজেক্টের স্ট্যান্ডার্ড বাড়াতে হবে এইটা একটু ন্যারো হয়ে যাবে এটা হচ্ছে যে ওরা পুরো সবকিছু ফিনান্সিয়ালি যাতে কস্ট এফেক্টিভ হয় তারপরে এনভায়রনমেন্টাল
I thought 9টা হয়ে গেছে।
হ্যাঁ না সরি 9টা আমাদের হয়নি ওইটা 9 এইটা রেজ না হয়ে এইটা হয়েছিল আরেকটা হয়েছে রেলেভেন্স টু হেলথ এটা আচ্ছা এনিওয়েজ ঠিক আছে এখন তাহলে এটা একটু দেখি নাও উই আর হ্যাভিং এখন আমরা দেখব যে ট্রু ফলস নট কি আচ্ছা এখানে কি বলছে water usage per person is higher in industrial world than it was in ancient Rome এটা কোনটা এটা কি বলেছে যে এনশিয়েন্ট রোমের থেকে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ওয়ার্ল্ডে মানে পার ক্যাপিটা পানির ইউজ বেশি না সমান ওরা কি বলেছিল ফার্স্টে যে এখানে বলেছে এখানে বলেছে এখান থেকে এখানে পরের এটা যদি সত্যি হয় তাহলে এটা কি হবে Hello, anybody?
Sir, I think it's true.
Yes. True. না true না false. Higher বলছে না সমান বলছে যে supplied of water as much as what has provided many parts of the মানে ওরা একই পরিমাণ পানি ইউজ করে আর এখানে বলছে ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল ওয়াটার বেশি ইউজ করে তাহলে এটা কি হবে নো আচ্ছা তারপর feeding increasing population is possible due primarily to improved irrigation system এটা কি বলেছে এটা কি বলেছে মানে এইটা টেকনোলজি ইরিগেশনের জন্যই হয়েছে and now the population বেড়েছে কিন্তু কেউ nobody is dying out of hunger in many part of the world তাহলে এটা কোথায় আছে এই যে এই জায়গাটা কি বলেছে কি হবে এটা যদি সত্যি হয় তাহলে এটা কি হবে
Sir, not given.
না এটা তো দিয়েছে mainly by expansion of artificial irrigation system that makes possible the growth of trend হ্যাঁ এটা কি হবে yes
true yes
এটা true হবে এটা বলেই দিয়েছে modern water system imitate those of ancient Greeks and Romans এইটা কিন্তু কোথাও বলে এইটা বলেনি যে একই পরিমাণ কি ছিল পানির পরিমাণ সমান প্রায় কিন্তু ইমিটেট যে করে মডার্ন গুলো যে ওইগুলো ইমিটেট করে তো নট নেসেসারি এখন অনেক চেঞ্জ হয়েছে এটা তো বলেনি যে একেবারে ওদের মতো একেবারে ইমিটেট করতে হবে এমন কোনো কথা নেই আর মনে হয় কোথাও আপনি পাবেন না তাহলে এটা অনেক জায়গায় কাছাকাছি বলেছে কিন্তু এই কথা কোনো সময় বলেনি আচ্ছা, যেমন ইয়েতে আছে, এটা সিতে আমরা বোধহয় পাবো। সিতে দেয়া আছে এই এতটুকু দেয়া আছে। Yet there is a darker side. Half of the population still suffers with water inferior to those available to ancient groups. এই ব্যাপারে বলেছে, কিন্তু ওই ব্যাপারে কোনো কথা বলেনি। আমরা কপি করেছি কি করিনি এই ব্যাপারে কিছু বলেনি। আচ্ছা, তারপরটা আমরা দেখি। Let's move on to the next one. Next oneটা কি হবে, যে industrial growth is increasing the overall demand for water. ইন্ডাস্ট্রিয়াল গ্রোথ কি ওভারঅল ডিমান্ড ফর ওয়াটার, আমরা তো করেছিলাম যে কমিয়েছে বরঞ্চ, এই ধরনের একটা করেছিলাম না? তাহলে কি হবে 24 কি হবে?
Not no.
24 এটা নই হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা বেশি না? নো হওয়ার সম্ভাবনা বেশি। আচ্ছা, এটা বোধহয় এই জায়গাতে এই ধরনের একটা জায়গায় বলেছে, এই যে এটা এখান থেকে কিছু বলেছে। এটা কি হবে তাহলে অ্যানসার, if this is true, এটা যদি সত্যি হয় তাহলে কি হবে? কোনটা হবে? এইটা, এই যে এইটা, এটা নো হবে, 24 নো হবে। তারপর modern technologies have led to a reduction in domestic water consumption. এটা কি হবে? এটা 25 কিন্তু আমরা পড়লাম এখন অনেক এফিশিয়েন্ট হয়েছে। এফিশিয়েন্ট হওয়ার ফলে কি আমাদের যেমন আগের যে পানি, এটা অনেক সময় আমরা রিসাইকেল করছি। তারপরে ফসেট গুলো,
Yes, আর কি true.
এইটা ট্রু, এটা না পড়লেও এটা আছে কোথাও, না পড়লে এটা আমরা বুঝছি। এটা ট্রু নাকি? ইয়েস ইয়েস, এটা করেছে, বুঝছে, এফিশিয়েন্ট হয়েছে, যেহেতু অমনি কমে গেছে, সেই জন্য এখন আর বড় বড় প্রজেক্ট দরকার নেই। In the future, government should maintain ownership of water infrastructure. এই ধরনের আমার তো মনে পড়ছে না কোথাও করেছে গভর্নমেন্টের কি করা উচিত, অ্যাটলিস্ট ওনারশিপ নিয়ে
ইন স্ট্যান্ডার্ড বাড়ানো উচিত সেটা লিখছিল,
এটা ওনারশিপ নিয়ে কোনো কথা বলে না। ওকে, তাহলে এই দুইটাই ছিল এখানে। ঠিক আছে, আপনারা কি কেউ একটা রিডিং এর রাইটিং এর উপর একটা ভিডিও দেখবেন শর্ট? আচ্ছা, আমি চালু করে দিচ্ছি, আমরা দেখতে পারি, যারা দেখার আপনি দেখবেন, হ্যাঁ, অসুবিধা নেই। আচ্ছা, তাহলে যারা থাকেন আর যারা গুড বাই, ভালো থাকেন, ঠিক আছে? আচ্ছা, থ্যাংক ইউ ফর বিং উইথ প্রিন্সটন প্রেপ। আমরা তাহলে আমি একটা ভিডিওতে নিয়ে যাই, হ্যাঁ, ইউ ক্যান জাস্ট ওয়াচ দ্যাট ভিডিও। একটা এসে লিখবে, একসঙ্গে একটা এসে লিখবে, একটা
We're going to Hey there, this is Lee from IELTS Master, and in this video lesson we're going to write an essay together. We haven't done one of these before, so see how you like it and see if it's helpful for you or not.
Just 12 minutes.
I've selected this topic, but I really haven't looked at it in detail or thought about it yet, so I'm going to start from the very beginning, and we're going to try and put together a Band 9 essay together, and I'll try to explain my thought process while I'm doing it. All right, here we go. So the topic is human activities have had negative effects on plant and animal species. Some people think it is too late to solve this problem, while others believe that effective measures can still be taken to improve the situation. Discuss both views and give your own opinion. All right, so first things first, we need to analyze the task. So I see that some people think it is too late to solve this problem. This is one idea, this is one point of view that we're going to address. And the other is others believe that effective measures can still be taken. effective measures can still be taken. So this is the other point of view. And we have these 2 points of view that we're going to discuss. And then human activities have had negative effects on plant and animal species. So plant and animal species is going to be really big, and human activities also really big. Negative effects, of course. We're not talking about positive stuff. We're talking about negative stuff. So let's see. My opinion, I think that effective measures can still be taken. I might change this later, but for now, I'm going to go with effective measures can still be taken. In the body A, we're going to talk about why some people think it is too late, and body B, we're going to talk about why some people and me think that effective measures can still be taken. Cool. In conclusion, as usual, reparaphrase and oops. Let's see if I can type. Yeah, reparaphrase the original introduction, the general opinion from the introduction. Okay, so let's think of some ideas for these body paragraphs. Thinking of ideas. So why do some people think it's too late? Okay. Why do some people think it's too late? It's not an easy thing to think about, but we need to take some time to think about it. I think that one reason is that the damage is done. It's irreversible. Okay, so the damage is done, it's irreversible, we can't fix it. There are going to be a lot of typos. I'm typing and I'm talking. If I were writing by hand, I make significantly fewer spelling mistakes, but that's all right. Don't worry about it. So the damage is done, it's irreversible. What else can we think about? Why else do people think it's too late? The problems are too big to fix. Now, these aren't specific ideas. I'll probably get into specific ideas when I'm actually writing the essay. The problems are too big to fix. What do I mean by problems? We can talk about glaciers. We can talk about pollution. And so glaciers is related to global warming. Pollution. Oh, how about urbanization? That's a good one. Urbanization. So this is kind of an irreversible one, right? People aren't just going to stop their cities so that and plant and animal species can come back. It's not that easy. So why me and some other people think measures can still be taken? Well, we can still improve spaces for plants and animals. In some areas like New Zealand, these efforts have been successful. Okay, so there have been some places like New Zealand where these kinds of efforts have been successful. Let's try and think of just a little bit more. Why else do I think, or why else do people think that effective measures can still be taken? Well, some people are in denial. They don't actually believe that it's irreversible. They think, oh, we can always fix it later on. And some of them are just a little bit, yeah, they're just in denial. They don't actually know what's going on. So here's it. This is a basic plan. I think we're ready to go. We're ready to get started writing. So next, I'm going to try and write the introduction. To do this, I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that we can get started writing and I can still see the topic. Actually, I'll move the topic down to the bottom so that I can keep my eye on it. So first thing we want to do in the introduction is paraphrase the topic, paraphrase the basic topic. Human activities have had negative effects on plant and animal species. This is a fact. We're not debating this point or saying whether we agree with it or don't agree with it. We just need to paraphrase it. So let's try and paraphrase it. The spread of humanity has resulted in a has resulted in detrimental effects on plant and animal life. And resulted in, it's had detrimental effects on plant and animal life. Okay, there's a basic paraphrase of the topic. While some believe that these problems have become too dire to improve, others feel that it is not too late and that we can still help plant and animal species to, what can we help them to do? We can still help revitalize plant and animal species, revitalize to bring them back to life. I believe that it is that we still have the chance to help improve the negative effects we have had on plant and animal species as long as we act soon. All right, cool. Introduction, we have the paraphrase of the topic, and then the paraphrase of the two perspectives, and then my own opinion as well. Next, body paragraph. Let's see how many words this is. This is 72 words, a little bit long, 3 sentences. Okay. The last sentence in the introduction, not super necessary, but we'll keep it there for now. It's not going to hurt anything either. Next, we want to do the first paragraph. So we need a topic sentence in the beginning of the first body paragraph. And if we go back up, the first body paragraph topic is why some people think it is too late. So there are several reasons why some people believe that we cannot reverse the negative impact we have had on plants and animals. Okay, there's the topic sentence. So this paragraph is going to be about the reasons that some people believe this. And what's one reason? The first reason is that the kind of problems that we have are irreversible. I just spelled that wrong again, but that's okay. Are irreversible. For example, now that glaciers have started melting because of global warming, plant and animal habitats will be destroyed and we will not be able to recover them. Possible to reverse the melting of glaciers, and thus these habitats have no chance in the future. The second reason is that some problems are simply too big to fix. Take colonization, for example. Humans are very unlikely to want to reduce the cities and other urban areas that they have created in order to help animals. because this is unlikely, the chance that these animals, that these species can be saved is also incredibly low. This sounds like the end of a paragraph, and that's 143 words, so all together we have 219 words in the first two paragraphs. Because second paragraph, why we think that effective measures can still be taken. So the first sentence needs to be some kind of connecting sentence. And it needs to be a topic sentence. We want to connect the last paragraph, and we want to explain what the purpose of this next paragraph is going to be. So the topic is why effective measures can still be taken, and let's write a sentence for that. Nonetheless, while some believe that these problems are beyond help, others feel that if we act now, we can. That's my opinion, not theirs. Others feel that if we enact effective policies, we can still help these plants and animals. Solve. Nonetheless, while some believe that these problems are beyond help, others feel that if we enact effective policies, we still have a chance. Let's simplify that just a little bit. We still have a chance. Some of these people are simply in denial about the seriousness of the impact that humans have had. Others, however, truly believe that I don't feel good about this first sentence because it sounds different than my topic sentence, so I need to give it a little bit more context. While some of these people are, there we go, while some of these people are simply in denial about the seriousness of the impact that humans have had, others truly believe that effective measures can be taken. Effective that I truly believe that well, some of these people are simply in denial about the seriousness of the impact humans have had. Others believe that. Okay, let's just change that. There has been some evidence that plant and animal ecosystems can revitalize themselves given the right conditions. Okay, so there's been some evidence that plant and animal ecosystems can revitalize themselves given the right conditions. This is related to this idea. Okay, so I'm going to use that as an example. For example, in New Zealand, there have been successful attempts at creating special zones where human activity is severely limited or not allowed at all. In these places, plant and animal activity has come back or has returned to levels that were previously thought unimaginable. If these places, if this example can be replicated in other places, we may still have a chance to save these plant and animal species. Okay, I think that paragraph is basically done. So let's throw together a really quick conclusion and then we'll be done with this essay. In conclusion, I know, very common, but it works. In conclusion. And so for the conclusion, what we want to do is we want to take this introduction and just re-summarize it, re-paraphrase it real quick. And we'll add a few details from the body paragraphs. So in conclusion, while we have undoubtedly destroyed some plant and animal species, people have different opinions on whether this problem can be fixed. Some feel that the effects are beyond repair, while I feel that if we act now to establish special zones for plants and animals, we may be able to at least save some of them. All right, so this essay altogether is 399 words. That is extra long. However, it only took about 15 minutes. Well, okay, I've taught IELTS for a long time and I've practiced writing essays for quite a while. So you probably can't write 399 words in 15 minutes, but the idea of starting out with a plan like this and then trying to put together an introduction, 2 body paragraphs with your ideas, and then a quick conclusion, the process is still very similar. And of course, writing something so quickly, I'm not sure whether this is actually a band 9 or not, nor whether it has any typos or anything like that, but I want to leave it as is for you. I hope this lesson, this writing was helpful for you, and give it a shot. Let me know how you felt down in the comments. Thanks so much.
Okay, guys. Okay. Thank you for being with us, Princeton Prep. And tomorrow we are going to have a GRE class. And the day after tomorrow, again, we'll meet for IELTS. Okay, thank you. So have a good night. Take care. Bye.